Hey everyone, my name is Lyndon Hoffman-Lew. I was the DP and cinematographer for another Pucking Fairytale. And I've worked with Alex on a few projects now, and this was just another one where when I said, hey, let's shoot a project, and I was thinking maybe a demo reel over the weekend, it turned into a 7, 8, 9 month project. But hey, here we are. All right, so question number one. For cancel, cut, stop. Sorry, number director. Cancel, cancel,
Cancel.
delete. Cancel, stop.
Control Alt Delete.
Hardest day on set. How about every day? The hardest day on set was every day. And I say that jokingly, but I do mean it as well, just because Alex and I were working our day jobs as well. And we're filming these super early in the morning till late at night. And that's why I want to again reiterate newfound respect for everyone behind camera. Because when I was doing just acting, when I coming from the acting world, when I was doing just that, by no means was I ever disrespectful to anyone behind camera, but I just never truly understood the effort that goes into the entire planning process and everything like that. Alex and I were meeting up days before, the day before, the morning of, early, to prep for shoot days, planning things out, prepping gear. I mean, like, so that's another thing, is having all this gear, charging batteries, and I literally have to follow a list on my phone of everything that I have to charge the night before, so that I know that it's ready the day of, and then day of I have to load up the car and bring everything to set, and then unload everything and unpack everything, prep the scene. And thankfully Alex has grown tremendously, and he's not one of those directors where he just sits by and watches me work. He's stepping in and helping me set this up, asking what do I need, so on and so forth. And that's been a tremendous help, because otherwise a back brace wouldn't do the job. My dad being a chiropractor wouldn't be enough. Like, where's take a very long drive on the short road to glory, you know? But that being said, it was a very rewarding process as well. I don't think I could categorize one singular moment as the moment of this is not going to work. I'd have to say there's a certain level of uncertainty on every day that we were filming, just because, again, this is a two-person crew, me and Alex, trying to pull this off. And the actors brought so much to this, and they did a phenomenal job doing so. But doing this with just two people, it's safe to say there's going to be some certain level of doubt in your mind if you can even do this, if this is capable. There's time constraints, there's budget constraints. We're moving, we're hauling ass, we're going. And if you don't have that certain level of uncertainty or fear, it's like, it gets borderline arrogance. And I'm the first person to ever say that I am the least arrogant person on earth. So, humility, it's what we cherish here at the Lost and Found organization. I was most afraid about certain, I guess I could say, magical shots, without exposing too much of the story, working out logistically, because I come from an acting background and learned how to work the camera, and during the lockdowns went through several online courses, a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of trial and error, a lot of testing, a lot of just walking around in my driveway with this camera looking like an idiot, just practicing. So working behind camera was, I wouldn't say something entirely new to me, because I've been doing it for a few years now, but it's just having to learn something new and try something new, from just going in front of the camera to now operating the camera to lighting. How are we going to light this scene? How are we going to make this story flow congruently, and being able to do so in post as well in terms of editing, because it's one thing to just shoot it, but now you have to, it's not just plug and play, splice things together. It's what also sells these certain effects, sound design, and that's in and of itself, I mean, newfound respect for everyone behind camera, because there's so much more than just press record and what's taking so long. No, it's an entire process. So a lot of those magical moments were interesting, but we made them work, and they turned out fantastic. That was one of the questions I saved.
Can you skip it if you want?
Say it one more time.
How did you approach creating the visual language of the show?
It's a very interesting process, bringing the director's visions to reality. Alex and I spent a lot of time discussing what he was looking for, and I mean, to be honest, I wish I had even more skill sets as a cinematographer. I really wish I do. But I just know I did the best I could. And I just reverted back to what I learned on those online courses and those YouTube videos of, this is how this will be done, this will be done, blah, 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 blah. Yes, some rules are made to be broken, so on and so forth. But just remembering the basics. And I guess that kind of goes with everything, like martial arts, basketball, anything really. Just go back to the basics. And that's, I think for the most part, we accomplished visually what Alex was asking for. I think in terms of communicating visually what Alex wanted, he would tell me what he was looking for in each particular shot, and I would tell him what would be realistic in this manner, and what I knew was within my capabilities as a cinematographer. And yeah, I mean, it was just clear communication of what each of us wanted, and especially in terms of framing. If Alex asked for this, and if I had a couple of notes, I'd spurt them out, and just let him know what I thought, and we try it this way, that way, maybe both ways, all kinds of different positions. But yeah, and see which one we liked the most, and kind of went with it. I think Alex said episode number 2 best encompassed this series, but I personally have to think it was episode 1. It kind of, if you were to watch just that, I think it would intrigue, it would give you enough into what the story's about and intrigue you to watch more, hopefully. And if not, we'll just blame Molly, because it's almost entirely her. So, pointing fingers, yeah, it's Molly's fault. But yeah, episode 1. Some moments we did choose to use certain filters and certain lighting techniques that may differ from what's actually happening in that moment. One of those moments is in the bar, where Molly's character Ashley goes from having, I guess we can say, a daydream to her in reality, and a lot of it was costume design, so shout out to Lily for that. But also the lighting and the flares, and selling it with, again, sound design. My arch nemesis at this moment in time. That's what I'm really trying to master now, editing and sound design. So well, this project had several songs going on, and that was new for me. I mean, when I first read the script, I was like, Alex, I've never shot a horror film before. But I'm just kidding, it's not a horror film unless you watch it a certain way, I guess. Like, this guy, that person, there's no dogs. I don't know. But it was probably the song that was in the bar that was most difficult to shoot, just because it wasn't just a scene where you can capture from multiple different angles and make it work like a music video, or not all music videos, but some music videos you can shoot them from different angles, fix them together, and you have an Instagram reel, ta-da! But this one had to be very methodical and thought out, and different setups, and so that was probably the most challenging to shoot, or at least, at the very least, the most time consuming. Well, I mean, there's a big difference between shooting a regular scene and shooting, or at least for this project, shooting the musical aspects. It's, I guess, again, coming from the online courses and just how-to videos and such, and just the way my mind works, I'd like to have the master, the two-shot, the medium close-up, and then the close-up if the scene warrants that. And so I can go through almost like a to-do list of what I need to capture. But with the musical shots, especially, again, going back to Molly's song in the bar, Alex already had the sequence and the movements and the dance, the choreography planned out. So we're not covering every basis, and so I'm just trusting that what he sees in his mind translated to me is what we capture, and came out great. I won't speak too much on budget constraints. Well, no, I guess I could, in terms of as Alex had mentioned, locations. I mean, the locations, 9 out of 10 would be amazing. Alex did a phenomenal job scoping those out and attaining those for us. But obviously, just with more budget means you can also do this, do that, different gear setups, another hand-on set to move things even faster, or less back-breakingly. But time constraints was a big one for sure, just because, again, there's just two of us, and so we're having to move. And that's why, I mean, because since Molly being the star of the show, obviously you got to josh her around. It's like a hazing. You have to. It's in the manual. I have it somewhere. I'll find it later, but it's in the manual. I swear. So you have to josh her a little bit. I even put on a name tag that says, "Hi, my name is Josh. You're being joshed." Just a little joshing here and there, and I had to tell her, like, I hope you know I'm just joking with you, because again, on set, it's, for the most part, you have to be head in the game, business, like no distractions, and it's just you're moving so quickly on these time constraints of trying to capture so much in this allotted period of time that you go for it, and whatever we didn't capture, but the story's been told. So I mean, every day was a great laugh on set. Each of the characters absolutely had their moments, and watching back through the hours of editing, you notice certain things about certain characters. So my big one was Molly's eye roll, and it was just every time I see it now, it is hilarious. She does this thing. I don't even know if I should say this. This is not. She does this thing where she purses her lips, she closes her eyes. The right one somehow opens quicker than the left, like that. I can't even emulate it, but she does it subconsciously, and I can't get that image out of my head. It's so funny. And then obviously each of the characters had their moments as well. I mean, Illy doing his best interpretation of Michael Phelps after winning the gold medal, in his assorted costume, if it can even be qualified as a costume, was hilarious. Puck had his moments. His improv moments were LOL moments. Oh wow, that just aged me. LOL. Ha ha ha. And then, yeah, but overall, very enjoyable. Many ha 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 moments. The greatest logistical challenge was, oh gosh, I'm gonna have to think about that one for a sec. Y'all just sit there and look pretty. I'm gonna think about this one. The greatest logistical difficult, let me say that again. The most difficult moments that we came across logistically was, I'd say, the planning process in entirety. I mean, because I think people watching this show will not realize that the crew was pretty much just me and Alex. And a skeleton crew is, I'd say, minimum 5 people. But I mean, I'm DP, cinematographer, grip and gaff, and audio and focus pulling. And along while doing that, Alex is helping me with the grip and the gaff and setting things up. And doing this as a 2-man band. I mean, yes, we had when I was acting in this project, we'd have Steven aboard and such, operating the camera, and that was a tremendous help. Steven's very talented and a tremendous help, but logistically it was just making this happen with 2 people behind camera. And that's why I've told people of, yes, if I could clone myself, or if I had an entire crew, it might be able to look like this or whichever, you know, but given the circumstances that we had and making the best of it, I am just damn proud of what we accomplished. What I learned most about working alongside Alex and how that functions kind of started on our previous project of Delicate Little Things, his feature film, but working together on this project, just because of the demands of the script, it went from Delicate Little Things in one location 90% of the movie to, oh, we're going to several locations in one day, several setups. Communication had to be on point, and we even had a secret code. So if Lily's looking over his shoulder at his phone, Pwams, if anyone remembers that, parent watching over my shoulder, he'd still get the message, and I'd still get my giggles. Like, just imagine this if you can. Alex is over there, serious as can be. Ding, pops up, and then whew, I'm in the window. It was like that. Communication was great. Yeah. You know, and I learned as a DP and cinematographer that I just had to take this one moment at a time. It's very easy to see the extent of what Alex is asking for and what he is imagining. And as a creative, I want to be able to deliver on that. And I don't know, maybe just not as a creative, but just me as a person. I don't want to let people down. I want to deliver. And I know that there were some moments in this where I wasn't quite able to do so, just because, again, it's just me and Alex. I mean, I don't have a helicopter to fly us in and out of here. I'm learning VFX, but I'm not a VFX artist, so I'm trying to do my best there. Sound design, again, that self-taught YouTube videos, this and that. Steadicam operating. I taught myself how to Steadicam by watching YouTube videos. Building out the camera and trying to find a system that works. I mean, all of this is just learn as you go kind of scenario. Yeah, so I think what I learned most about myself as a DP and cinematographer is just rolling with the punches. And I think what I have come to really appreciate about being a DP and cinematographer is the problem solving. In that a lot of scenarios, you're not going to know all the details until you arrive on set. And being able to be a problem solver and figure out the best way to move forward. Oh, I mean, this project, I would have to say, was a challenge. A stretch is an understatement, just because I had Steadicammed for several projects before this, but I was talking to Alex about how I'd like him to learn how to use the camera just so I can get more acting into our projects as well. But it's not just something that I can just willy-nilly kind of teach him, just because this is something, I mean, camera operating is something that I've been working on for 4 or 5 years now, and it's still not perfect. There are still moments where I'm like, damn, I wish I could have done that better. There's still moments like that. And so this project was challenging in that, one, you have to think on your feet, and two, just the ability level. I mean, I'm still growing, I'm still learning, and always will be. It's again, using the martial arts reference of you never stop. I mean, flexibility for martial arts. If you stop for a couple weeks, you're done. You have to start all over again. So it's a continued process. I think where I felt us leveling up most creatively wasn't necessarily while we were shooting, because mentally I had to treat each day as this is just another day behind the camera. I got this, just one scene at a time. This is not more challenging than it has to be. This is not greater than my abilities. I can do this. And so I felt the most creative growth was in the post-production, where we were learning to do this and that, learning how to clean up the audio to be as pristine as possible, learning to do certain VFX and such. And so that's where I really felt the creativity was really expanded. And like, for example, again, sorry if I keep mentioning it, but coming from the acting world, I felt I had the most power over how I portrayed this character, but you really don't. And going through the editing process made me realize that as the actor, you're really just supplying the editor with different paint colors, and it's up to you what quality of paint that might be. It might be Crayola crayons, or it might be these homemade oil paint colors that just are vibrant and, you know, luscious. And so it's up to you as the actor to bring that quality to the editor, and it's the editor to then take these different attributes and create the finished painting. So I think that's where our creativity really grew. What would I change about season 1? Well, that's an easy answer. I mean, I would have made Peter the focal point of this entire show. His charm, his wittiness, his banter. One of my actual favorite moments is him and Ashley, their final dynamic duo moment when he's saying goodbye is he says, well, all right, have a nice year. And she's like, what? The reason why he says have a nice year is because most people will say have a nice weekend. But see, as I say have a nice year, I can, one, guarantee she's never heard it before. So standout number 1. Standout number 2, if we by some chance run into each other 2 weeks later, I'm exceeding her expectations. 2 years versus a year. 2 weeks versus a year. And number 3, if we again see each other 2 weeks later, spontaneity, chicks dig it. So again, if we could have shot season 1 again, Peter, focal point. That was a total BS answer, but I wouldn't have changed it. The actors did great, and it was beautiful to watch. So I would not have changed it. What was my first impression of Molly as Ashley? how long do we have? Let me get my diary real quick. Let me get ready to bleep some stuff out. No, I'm just kidding. My first impressions, we had a table read at Alex's place, and this is absolutely nothing against Molly, absolutely nothing at all. But I do distinctly remember Alex was explaining to her the process and what we had shot in the past and what he was hoping to achieve with this. And it's, again, nothing against Molly, but she just has a very expressive face, which you'll see in the series. And at least just my interpretation of it was we didn't not necessarily have her confidence. And that was actually why when Alex texted me later saying that she confirmed that she wanted to do this role and was thankful to be a part of this project, I was actually thrown aback. I mean, because he had sent me her Instagram and I'd seen that she'd been working a lot in terms of commercials and such. So she's established, you know, and to come onto this project trusting that we can deliver upon what we're promising. But as we went through the series, getting to see what Molly brought to Ashley as a character was, I mean, truly beautiful in and of itself. I mean, she just brought so much to it. So much confidence on her end, so much trust on her end, and kind of worked out, I guess. It's hard to say when I knew Molly was Ashley in terms of, I mean, I immediately noticed that she has a certain style of acting, or at least what she brought to this project was of a certain style. And I think it's when we finally got into the more tender moments for Ashley, or Molly's character Ashley, that I could see Molly as Ashley, as in I saw that realism, and being behind the camera, freaking staring at someone's face on the monitor and going through the editing process, and I mean, and all that. I'm just studying, I mean, naturally so, just studying their face. I mean, I can't just, what am I gonna edit blind, you know? I mean, I'm seeing their face, and I could see those moments in her when she was just truly connected to the character. So those tender moments, I'd say. You know, Bryan was most certainly a surprise on set. First off, because I thought I was the token Asian. And Alex comes in and brings in a second. Like, I felt that was kind of personal. Like, just one wasn't good enough for him. I mean, sure, there's however many billion over there, but you only got one Lyndon, you know? So that was a massive surprise. I'm just kidding. No, I'd say the biggest surprise about Bryan as Illy was the fact that he picked things up like that, and professionalism to the nth degree, and the way he was able to just, again, go balls to the wall, stickiness on this. I mean, he just went for it, and it was a home run. The scene where the true magic was felt, the last scene between Ashley and Peter. It was just there. It was kismet. It was charisma to the nth degree. I'm just kidding. This is not the Peter show. This is the Molly show. So, where the magic was most felt. I mean, this shout out goes to Lily, because she did a phenomenal job with Molly's outfits, and she had her dressed as Cinderella, as Ariel, her bride's gown, dress, whatever you call it. Gosh, I see, that's such an unfamiliar thing to me. The white thing that the lady up front wears, that thing, and seeing Molly in each of those outfits Oh my God, Lily did a fantastic job. I mean, Molly just looked absolutely gorgeous in each and every one of them, and it almost felt like a live action recreation of those moments that we were trying to capture. Lily did a phenomenal job. Those outfits is what I'd say brought the magic alive for me, and that coupled with Molly's abilities, it's like a double double with animal fries on the side. It's hard to distinguish just one particular moment when an actor elevated their role to the next level. It really is. I mean, I'm almost tempted to say, Molly, Aaron, Bryan, line up those ass cheeks, because there's going to be some butt kissing here. I mean, they each brought so much to this role. Molly, as Alex has mentioned, we just threw so much at her. We asked so much of her, and she was, throughout that 7-8 month process, I was in the back of my mind, I was just thinking about how grateful I am that she's so understanding and so flexible with what we're asking her to do. And Aaron, a character, and as I joke around with Alex about, is he is too cool for school. He knows it. He knows that we know that he knows it. So he comes onto set. You're like, here's the crown. Here's your coffee. Yes, I won't talk to you. I'll talk to your agent. I am so sorry for even looking at you. He is too cool for school, but he can back it up. That guy's an animal. He nailed it as Puck. And then Bryan, I don't even know where to start with him. When I say go balls to the walls, I almost mean so quite literally. I mean, I hope that Pure Space Owner didn't take a blacklight to the walls, because it's almost quite literally. Bryan went balls to the walls. Like, what is that? That's sticky. But each of the characters killed it. Oh, and Caitlin is Veronica. I mean, you almost want to hate her because she just plays that Ice Queen so well. I mean, she killed it. And props to Danny for bringing her onto the project. And yeah, so each of the characters nailed it. Oh, and I can't forget to mention the other Bryan. So there's two Bryans. There's, as I like to call him, the Asian Bryan, and then the white Bryan. The white Bryan, who plays Molly's father, just had this real tender moment, which is hard, especially if you consider that Molly wasn't even on set that day. So he's doing this purely off of the moment, and he nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. If there ever was a moment behind the camera where I just stood back and said, yo, that was it, camera would have gone like this. So so no, there was not a moment like that. I'm the freaking camera operator. I don't have the luxury of stepping back from the camera. No. Jokes aside, I think, again, that wasn't necessarily captured in the moment, because in the moment, I'm just so, your head is in the game. I'm focusing on this. I need to charge that. I need to make sure this, and that is going on. So for me, I didn't really feel that per se in the moment. It was in hindsight of them. Well, I guess that is why the quote exists of everything's in 2020 in hindsight, you know? So it's while I'm editing, while doing sound and coloring and all that, and seeing this drawing come to life, is where I'm seeing those magical moments. And again, thinking to myself of, damn right, we did that. It's so many of those moments have crossed my mind, and I kind of, if I'm here editing alone, I'm just like fist pump in the air. I get out of my chair and I'm like, yeah, God, like that worked. And then I celebrate with a tub of ice cream. Most fun day on set. All right, Ashley, Aaron, Bryan, get your asses over here again. It's more ass kissing, but and this really is such a brown nosing ass kissing kind of answer, but the most fun day on set really was every day. I say that genuinely from the bottom of my heart. God, it's gonna make me cry saying this, but it's just, it was so fun. It was so fun being able to work with friends and get to know these people, and just being able to create, because if I'm not creating, and that's how I know I'm doing the right thing in life, and I will never stop to the day I die, is that I'm getting a chance to create, and that is more important to me than anything else. And being able to do that with people that I enjoy working with and being around was great. So those asses have been kissed, man. I don't know. I mean, I think as an arc of the character, I mean, you see a beautiful arc with Puck. As Alex had mentioned, he had really grown from that frazzled kind of rookie to the seasoned fairy godmother by the end of the show. That happens in a span of a day. But as a character arc, I mean, obviously it has to be Molly. She's just going through so many heartbreaks and heartaches and trials and tribulations. And again, I think just is because I'm spending so much time editing this and watching this for hours and hours and hours and working on the audio, so I can hear each of the characters' voices in my head, and I can almost close my eyes and picture each and every one of them. But going back to, it's all within the eyes of, you can just see that truthiness and rawness that Molly brought to Ashley. And there were definitely moments where you just want to put the camera down and just give her the biggest hug, because you just feel for her. And Alex and I were talking about this before, we were watching some of the BTS on the GoPro, and Molly was struggling a little bit trying to get this one song down, and also she was going through a lot personally, I guess. And I remember I was sitting at my desk and I was just watching that while I was doing some editing, and you just feel for her. I mean, she gave so much to this project. So as a character arc, if Molly doesn't hit you right here, you're probably an ice queen. You're probably dead inside. You're probably adopted, and your parents probably don't even love you. It's just as simple as that. Molly's gonna hit you right here. She plays softball, so I'm sure she can hit hard too. I think I'm most excited for the audience to see Peter's makeout scene. It was
In season 2?
It was electrifying. It was a step back moment. If there was ever a moment to step back, it was, whoa. I'm just kidding. Favorite moments. Repeat.
Which scene are you most excited for audiences to see?
I think I'm most excited for audiences to see maybe the beach scene. Not because it's the most, I mean, it's a pretty hurtful moment for Ashley if you can consider what happens along with that. So not in that regard, but just aesthetically. I mean, one, the location. We shot on a beach somewhere undefined by location or space or time. It was, the beach was nice. The beach was very nice. But I think it's because that was probably my favorite outfit in Molly. I mean, what she was wearing in that, it was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And she was jokingly singing the Ariel song, and I could just picture, I mean, she looked like a princess in that moment in time. She looked like an absolute princess. just from a cinematographer standpoint of the visual aspect, and it was beautiful. See, the moment that I'm most proud of in this filmmaking process, man, it's hard to say because people will always say, enjoy the journey, it's not the destination. And I totally get that, because it's within the journey that you grow and get to appreciate the final destination. But it's also whilst you're going through the journey that you can very easily lose sight of that destination. And especially if that process, I mean, this process was only 7-8 months, but imagine that elongated to 5 years, 10 years, so on and so forth. It's hard to keep your eyes on the prize. And I don't know if this will be appropriate or not for YouTube, but this painting, this drawing right here, because I draw and paint as well, this drawing, and I don't mean to show it because it's illicit or whatever, but this was the first drawing that I did after 7 years of not drawing, and it is the Titanic, if you can see that. And I distinctly remember I was living in the trap house with 4 other dudes, and I was sitting at the dining room table, and I had this feeling of I want to draw again. And just my process of drawing, the way I've learned, is starting with the outline, or at least what works best for me is starting with the outline, slowly moving into the details and the contours and the shading and all the little minute details. And I distinctly remember when I had finished the outline, I remember thinking to myself, this looks like shit. And there are multiple times when you're filming where you do have to just trust the process and trust that I'm delivering as best I can to Alex. Alex has communicated best he can of what he wants to see, and trust that it will come together. Because there were some moments for sure on set when I didn't know if this or that would work. And it's once you get into the editing and you see it and it's just, wow, that is, we did that. We did that. I hope audiences kind of take away what Peter said to Ashley of don't give up on love just yet. And I think Alex kind of mentioned how this doesn't necessarily have to be a love story, and that might not be the direction that it goes. And I don't think that it has to. And so when I say don't give up on love just yet, I think that goes back to what I mentioned before of the journey versus the destination. So whether destination love being that destination for you or whatever it may be, don't give up on that just quite yet, because it's so easy to. I mean, going through this entire process with Alex, I'm just kidding, Alex has been great, but going through this entire process, it's so hard to keep a positive frame of mind on this, and it's so easy to doubt yourself. And you see other cinematographers achieving this and doing that, and you start questioning your abilities as a cinematographer. And again, I have to remind myself, like, dude, you're freaking self-taught. You took a couple of online courses. You just invested so much into this gear hoping for the best. And I have to remind myself to be patient with myself and, just kind of trust the journey and don't lose sight of what I'm trying to achieve with it. Do I believe in fairy tales? I'd like to say yes, I do believe in fairy tales. I mean, I know, especially if I don't know people, I can come off as very stoic, very non-emotional, very. Someone said to me one time, like, Lyndon, you are like concentrated lime juice, because apparently I'd thrown this side eye and they were like, whoa, it looked like you wanted to kill someone, but I don't. I swear. No, but it's I don't know, I'd like to believe that. I mean, yes, I have those moments of wishing I could have this, wishing I could have that, hoping I can have this, hoping I can have that, and thinking, I'm gonna have the wife and kids someday, and it's that moment on the front porch with the silhouette shot and the sunset going down in the background and little grandkitties running around the front yard sort of deal. I mean, so yeah, I mean, there's a part of me that does. Let's be honest, what is deeper than love? Power, motherfuckers. I'm just kidding. I'd say to an extent it kind of is, but not in the interpretation. When I say that this story is about love, some of you might be thinking, oh, well, then it's going to be that cheesy stuff and there's going to be a happy ending and blah, blah, blah. But not necessarily so. This story can be about love, but every other aspect of it. It's not just like, say if I'm in love with someone, it's not just a black and white. It's I love your flaws, I love your faults, I love you for being exactly for who you are. You know, it's not I love you because you're perfect. And so I think this is a love story in that regard, is in that there are so many things going wrong. There are so many things that are not aligning. Some things may never align. Some things might. Who knows? But that's all part of the journey of love. And I feel like we just wrote a song there, dude. Dude, man. The amount of times that I spent laughing while filming this project or editing, oh my gosh, the amount of times I was editing this and had to, like, whoa, did you see that? I gotta watch it again. Comedy. This is 1000% a comedy in relation to romance. It's a romantic comedy, but leans more comedy because, and I'm gonna shout them out. Jacob and Claire. Oh my gosh, the chemistry that they had, the amount of improvising that they did in their little stint, let's call it that, and they even came back on another day and added more there. The amount of flavor to that was like a well-seasoned steak on all four sides. They seared it. It had those grill marks, nice juicy red on the inside. Man, they packaged that up nicely. They were comedic gold. If you do not enjoy them, it's like the guy from Ratatouille. What's the point? Ashley's journey, if that can be characterized as universal, I think we need to reopen insane asylums. Because I guess I shouldn't judge, but Molly just makes it so easy. I'm just kidding. Molly, we love you. More Joshing. Josh. I'd say it's universal in that shit's gonna hit the fan, you know? And we gotta do our best to kind of circumvent those scenarios. But I think that's one thing that I really loved about what Molly brought to this character. And maybe it's an aspect of Molly that I'm hoping people can kind of capture while watching this, is that she's not the gal to have a pity party posted online for attention. Poor me, look at me. She has those moments of vulnerability, but you can see it. You can see it and you can feel it. Her trying to fight on. I know she kind of wavers in moments and wants to give up, but I think that's more or less just using people as a sounding board versus actually truly believing it in herself. Because when I looked at Molly, I mean, you can just you can see that fight in her, and yeah, it's very, very endearing. Season 1 was about making mistakes. Season 2, if season 1 was, I think if season 1 was about the trials and tribulations of Ashley's character, Molly's character is Ashley. Let me say that again. if season 1 was about Molly's character, Ashley going through trials and tribulations, I'd say season 2 is seeing the growth from that. As in, I don't even imagine that we'd see an ending to this per se of she's achieved this or that or whichever. I almost imagine this as season 1 was the freaking hurricane that sent her through the whirlwinds, and I mean, just Molly just being so brave and just surviving at the very least. I wouldn't even say thriving, just purely surviving. And this next season is her kind of growing from that process, I'd say. Well, this series is definitely different than other romantic comedies because Peter's Harley Shone. For those who haven't caught on yet, I play Peter. No, this is definitely different than other romantic comedies in the sense that it doesn't have a happy ending. It doesn't have an ending at all, really. In that sense, what's the point of even watching this? I don't think you'll need to. Let me just spill the beans now. Cool beans. No, just kidding. But it's very different in that it's not following a set outline or a set of rules of this is what a love story is supposed to be, because I think that's the difference between a fairy tale and real life, is that fairy tales follow this guideline of what love should be, and this kind of explores of what if I cast this stone into the river and it doesn't hop 5 times but it hops 7, or what if it doesn't even hop that and it just sinks and you don't know what to expect and how to deal with that. So deal with it. Watch it. Has this show changed how I view relationships? Well, I play Peter in this, and he's a very awkward kind of person, and I am actually surprised to see how much awkwardness I brought to this. I don't know if that was I don't know, that wasn't necessarily intentional, but yeah, he was very nervous, and maybe that's just my true colors kind of shining through, just because in real life, yeah, I mean, I guess I'm scared of relationships, I guess you can say, very closed off, walls very high, so on and so forth, and scared of, but aren't we all? I mean, stop staring at me. This isn't about me anymore. This is about you. We're here to talk about you. And yes, it hasn't changed my view on relationships. It's actually made me more scared. So no, I guess the answer is no. My review on relationships hasn't changed. I'm just as scared as can be. I was making sure it was recording. I don't know why I just had this feeling. I just had this feeling that was not going.
I'm like, this is getting long.
Yeah. Okay, so one more time, I'm sorry.
How does this ending set up what comes next?
Well, this ending, the ending to this is just so broad. It's like if this was a painting, there aren't even colors on the palette. Alex took white and went and said, I am done. Hang this on your wall. Buy it on DVD and put it on your shelf. Stream it on Amazon Prime and look at my white walls. Because of course I'm joking, but it's just so broad in that it can go in so many different directions. For example, I mean, again, we kind of joked around about, oh yeah, Peter's charming and witty and blah, blah, blah. And he might try to bust the moves on Ashley. But like I said, Peter's so awkward. The best that he'd be able to come up with is, hey, baby, I got a Costco card. You know, and hope she digs it. Or Puck might turn out to be... well, no, I don't know how he'd get any weirder than he already is. He's already pretty weird. Aaron, phenomenal. Illy. Illy, need I say more? Again, broad. I'm really looking forward to exploring just this world being developed even more and being able to work with these phenomenal actors again, because I feel like we really just touched the tip of the iceberg with the potential that this show has, and I'm really hoping that it's received well and audiences like it and so on and so forth, just so we get asked to do a season 2 and explore this more. I mean, there's so many which way directions that this can go. Peter could become the next star of the show, and we never see Molly and Puck again. Who knows? I mean, it's my camera, and I'm the one editing the audio and stuff like that. So even if Puck and Molly are in it, I can dub it and be like, oh my God, where's Peter? Isn't he great? Yeah, he's the best. But I kid. When it comes to who was most prepared on set, I'd say it was everyone but me. Probably. And I say that jokingly, but sincerely as well, in terms of it was just from going to filming and having to mentally have everything prepped for that, and then to try to switch into character. That was very hard. So I wish I could have been more prepared on my end, and that. So I'm shouting myself out on that of, dude, do better. So in terms of who was most prepared, gosh, that would be a tough one. I mean, I would, you know what? No, this is going to be an unconventional answer, but it's going to be an honest answer. I'd have to say it would have to be Alex, because again, as the director, he's juggling so many pieces. I mean, the easy answer would be Aaron as Puck and Molly as Ashley, and they did phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. But again, all the planning that goes on behind the scenes, the prep, talking to the characters, communicating what he wants to see, it would have to be Alex. I mean, it's the shot list, the storyboarding, keeping us on time, because as my mind is distracted doing this for all the camera work, Alex's mind is doing that, if not more, of watching what I'm doing, but also keeping track of everything else as well. And that comes with a huge shout out to Lily, because Lily was all hands on deck. I mean, she was a phenomenal sport in terms of helping us maintain everything that we were doing. So shout out to Alex and Lily in that regard of being most prepared on set. Are you bossing Bryan around?
Always.
Bryan, how do you feel about that?
Boss me around, Daddy.
Extra credits at the end of the film. Who? Okay, I'd have to say the person who broke character the most was, unfortunately, probably Peter. And I think Alex was just afraid to say it in his interview, but it was definitely Peter. Molly's character asked me, why are you being so nice to me? Are you trying to get with me? And I, for the life of me, not a single freaking take could I say that with a straight face. What is up with that? Like, I don't know what it was. But yeah, I was breaking character left and right, and I apologize to Alex for having to deal with that. So. Most used word during filming is by far cool beans. Cool beans, I don't know where it came from. I don't know why I started saying it, but I just started saying cool beans. And I'm actually offended that it didn't pick up even more. I didn't get a cool beans out of Molly. I didn't get a cool beans out of Illy, Aaron, Jacob, Claire, Caitlin, Lily. No, maybe Lily. Lily, you're off the hook. Lily's off the hook. Oh, she did. Tyler. I didn't get a cool beans reciprocated once, and I find that deeply, deeply offensive. How dare they? To describe this entire process with one word is hard, so I'm gonna say moist. I'm just kidding. Tater tots. She doesn't love tater tots, you know? One word. Memorable. There we go.
What was it again? Cool beans.
Cool beans.